All right, gather round. You're gonna want to hear this. It's a quick story, but trust me, it's the kind that lingers, especially when you find yourself all alone in the dark.
So, you've probably heard that before, right? It's more than advice. It's a straight up warning. And warnings like that, they don't just come from nowhere. They exist for a reason, usually a really terrible one. They're born from the story of someone who made the mistake of not listening. Okay, so our story, it centers on this guy, Rohit. And for this to really hit home, you've got to understand his situation. He was totally alone. I mean, completely. In this little house, way out at the edge of the village. You know that kind of quiet? The kind where every single creak of the floorboards, every little rustle of leaves outside the window sounds massive? Yeah, that kind of quiet. The kind that leaves you feeling, well, exposed. And then, one night, he heard a voice. And no, it wasn't some loud shout or anything. It was a whisper, but it was sharp. It just sliced right through all that silence, right through the solid wood of his front door. At first, he figured it was probably just a friend messing with him, playing some dumb late-night prank. So he's annoyed, right? But he's not scared. Not yet. He gets up and heads for the door. He opens it and nothing. Absolutely no one there. Just this empty path lit up by the moon and that cold night air hitting him. But as he's standing there, in the doorway, he just can't shake this feeling. This awful, chilling feeling that somebody's eyes were on him. So Rohit, he tries to brush it off. It was just the wind, or I'm just tired, my mind's playing tricks. But some things, they don't want to be forgotten. And some things, they always come back.
And sure enough, the very next night, it happened again. Same time, same whisper. Except this time was different. It felt closer. So much closer, like he could almost feel the vibration through the door itself, like whatever was out there had its lips pressed right up against the wood.
And this wasn't a question anymore. Oh no, this was a demand. Any hint of it being a friend was just gone. Replaced by something that sounded hungry and very, very insistent.
This time, he was terrified. He just backed away from the door, his heart absolutely hammering in his chest. He holds his breath, just praying, hoping that if he stays quiet, if he just doesn't engage, then whoever or whatever it is will just give up and go away. So he's just standing there, frozen in the dark, just listening. And the whispering stops. For a second, he probably felt this huge wave of relief. But the silence that came after, man, it was so much worse. It felt heavy, like it was waiting for something. And then another sound cut through it all.
His phone, it just starts vibrating on the table, this modern little buzz in the middle of this ancient-feeling nightmare. His hand is shaking, but he reaches for it. The screen flares to life, lighting up the room, and he sees it. A new text from a number he doesn't recognize. I mean, can you imagine? His blood must have turned to ice. How in the world did it have his number? He could feel it out there, this pressure against the walls of his house. And the message? It wasn't done. A mistake? What mistake? What did he do? The words are just glowing there on the screen, this digital accusation that's just making his skin crawl. And then it hits him, the awful, awful truth of it. By staying silent, by not opening that door, he hadn't protected himself at all. He had just made it angry. The phone just drops from his hand, clatters on the floor. See, the message was a lie. It wasn't just standing outside. But how? How could it be anywhere else? He never opened the door. He never answered. But that old warning, don't answer, it was never about the door. And that's when he feels it. A cold draft on the back of his neck. The air in the room, it shifts. The shadows in the corner of his vision, they seem to get darker, to pull together, to start taking a shape. And he knows he has to. So slowly, so slowly, Rohit turns around. And that's when he saw someone was already in the house with him. It never needed the door to be opened. You see, when it whispered his name through the door the first time and he got up to answer, that was all it needed. The next morning, the sun comes up. Everything in the village seems normal. But Rohit's neighbors, they start to notice. His door's still shut tight. The windows are dark. They call out his name, but nothing. Just silence.
So finally, they get worried enough to break down the door. They rush into the little house, probably expecting to find him sick or something. But the place, it was just empty.
Rohit was just gone. Vanished into thin air. There was no sign of any kind of struggle. Nothing was even out of place. Except for one thing. A final message left there for them on the wall.
Yeah, it was written in blood. A final, horrible, triumphant statement. The perfect end to a story that finished in the dark.
So, that brings me back to you. The next time you're alone and it's late and everything is quiet, what are you going to do when it whispers your name?